Hey everyone, and welcome. So today, we're going to dive into an organization that's all about making a real long-term difference. We're talking about Premier Mountain Communities Consultants, or as you'll probably hear me call them, PMCC. They're focused on driving some seriously transformative change right where it's needed most, inside communities.
Have you ever wondered what it really takes for a community to thrive? Not just for right now, but for the long haul, for generations to come? Well, that's a huge question, and it's basically the beating heart of everything PMCC does. They're not about dropping in with a quick fix and leaving. They're all about sustainable, community-led development, empowering people to build their own better futures.
All right, so how do they actually pull this off? To get a good handle on their model, we're going to break it down into 4 key areas. First, we'll look at their core vision. Then, we'll get into the strategy they use to make it a reality. After that, we'll cover the specific services they offer. And finally, we'll check out the real-world impact of all their work. So, first up, let's get to the heart of it all. What's the why? What's the fundamental purpose that drives every single thing PMCC does? And this quote really says it all, doesn't it? The words that jump out to me are transformative change and lasting impact. That right there tells you everything you need to know. This isn't about small, temporary adjustments. It's about creating deep, fundamental shifts that actually stick around for the long run. And this is the key idea, right? Sustainable change. It's really the foundation for their entire philosophy. It's about building systems and skills within a community so they can flourish on their own, making sure that the progress we see today doesn't steal from the opportunities of tomorrow.
Okay, so that's the big vision. It's a great goal to have, but how do you actually make that happen? Let's dig into the how, their practical, strategic approach to getting it done.
And here's where we see their strategy in action. It's a multi-layered approach, but if you boil it down, it's all about building from the inside out. They focus on giving communities the knowledge to make their own smart decisions, helping them become more resilient, and building up their own ability to grow. It really all comes back to that one word, empowerment. And this is so important. They're not just, guessing what might work. Every single project, every strategy is backed up by solid research-based evidence. They combine that with what's already proven to work both locally and around the world to make sure their solutions are actually effective and a good fit. All right, we've got the why and the how. Now for the what. Let's look at the specific, tangible services that PMC actually delivers to make all this change happen on the ground. So they basically have 2 main arms to their operation, and they work together perfectly. On one side, you have MERD, that's monitoring, evaluation, and research. Think of this as the project side, making sure everything is data-driven and getting real results. And on the other side, you've got PDD, the Professional Development Division. This is the people side, all about building up skills and knowledge. So if we zoom in on MERD for a second, you can see they cover the whole life cycle of a project. They do the initial research, they design the project, they track its progress, and they measure its impact at the end. This is kind of like the engine that makes sure every project is smart, effective, and actually makes a difference. And then you've got the other piece of the puzzle, the PDD. This is where it gets really personal. This is all about investing directly in people, giving them new skills, helping them turn theory into real-world action, and ultimately boosting things like their productivity and their ability to get good jobs. Okay, theory is great, right? Strategy and structure, it all sounds impressive. But what does it actually look like when the rubber hits the road? Let's check out the proof, the real-world results. So yeah, let's ask that big question. When you combine all this research, all this strategy, and all this training, what does it actually achieve for people in their communities? Okay, here's a fantastic example from their environmental work. They helped develop a whole watershed management plan. Now, this isn't just about a report that sits on a shelf. This is about creating a living plan that helps ensure sustainable resources, like water, for a community for years and years to come. This is what that sustainable change looks like in the real world. Or take a look at this. This project is all about economic empowerment and specifically creating new opportunities for women. It's just a brilliant example of how when you invest in one part of a community, you create these positive economic ripples that end up benefiting everyone. And this is what that professional development division we talked about looks like in real life. It's hands-on, it's practical. It's people in a room learning about entrepreneurship, communication, and real-world workplace skills. It's a direct investment in people, giving them the tools they need to succeed. So you see how it all connects? It's not just one thing. PMCC has built this complete end-to-end model that links a big, inspiring vision with concrete, on-the-ground action. They support communities at every single step of the journey, from research to training to making sure the impact lasts. When you really look at it, PMCC's work is this incredible blueprint for how to create change that matters. It's a reminder that when you have the right strategy and a real commitment to empowerment, making a huge difference isn't just a dream, it's totally achievable. If what they do resonates with you, all of their contact info is right there on the screen. Thanks so much for watching.